You're not trying to flow naturally. You're trying to get one up on the one. Never mind.
One up on the other person. Got you. Remix. My bad.
You knew what I meant.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to another episode of In the Fields podcast. I am your host, Johnny, with my lovely fiance, soon-to-be wife, Lisa. And yeah, man, we're back. And yeah, we're killing it, dude. I feel like we've been going off, minus the little technical issues in the background, but
dishing them out.
Yeah, I feel like, that's what happens when you're on the right path, right? Like you're on the right path, and I feel like that's when obstacles start to like get thrown in your way, and yeah, that kind of brings us
testing us.
That brings us right to what this episode is about, man, which is the power of perspective.
Nice.
Like that, like how I segued
right
into that one. Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, this one is about the power of perspective, guys, and just like how important it is to, make sure that you're focusing on, the positives, right? Like we're still
the bigger
picture,
keeping an open mind.
Bro, most people don't have it figured out until like episode 100. A lot of like even the big podcasts will say that, like, yo, bro, we didn't have it down packed until
it's a learning curve. There's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah, man. So I'd like to start this episode with question of the day. As you guys know, the inboxes are always open on the socials. I'm pretty sure this one was actually from Facebook. So question of the day is, how do you learn to see things from someone else's perspective, especially when you strongly disagree with them?
I think the biggest one is just keeping an open mind. Like, you have to be receptive. Like, it's okay that you don't agree. Like, that's a huge thing that, I feel like is really hard to learn. But once you kind of figure it out, it's not really that hard to maneuver by just keeping an open mind. Like, it's okay that we don't agree. We're not always going to agree. And there's ways to respond positively, like you could just be like, yeah, I get it, but like, I don't really agree with that. This is kind of where I'm coming from. And then turn it into a conversation to where you guys are both getting out those perspectives, and it's okay. Like, one size don't fit all. So like I said, just keeping an open mind would be the biggest thing in my opinion.
Yeah, I like that. And I think what comes with having an open mind too is just, I don't want to sound like a fucking broken record, but communication. You know what I mean? Like,
that's going to be a recurring
theme. Yeah, that's a recurring theme through the journey, through the healing journey, whether it's within yourself or within your relationships. But yeah, like when you have different perspectives, I think it's always safe to say too that like, that doesn't mean we have to hate each other.
No.
Like, just because you think differently than me, and we can agree to disagree, or we can express our perspectives without there needing to be hostility or some sort of defensiveness. Like, a lot of people, I think, automatically assume because we think different, now we can't coexist. You know what I mean? And I think that's
a big problem nowadays.
Well, I just think it's a narrow-minded way of thinking. Like, how do you expect to be open-minded if you're not willing to see alternate perspectives or things from different angles? You know what I mean? So yeah, I think communication is everything. You should be able to, like you said, have a conversation. Like, we should be able to express our perspectives respectfully and not feel the pressure of, oh, now you're not going to fuck with me, or now you don't like me, or I don't fuck with you now because that's just how you think, and I think that shit is whack. Like, nah, bro, like, it's cool, man. People feel how they feel. That's great. We can still be cool, bro. Like, I'm cool with a bunch of people who do different shit. Like, I love bacon. One of my homies doesn't eat pork. So what now? I'm like, well, dude, you don't fuck with bacon strips. I can't fuck with you. You know what I mean? Like, that don't make no sense, bro. So, yeah, I just think, I think that's really big, especially when it comes to the power of perspective, it's ensuring that, that you give people a safe space to express theirs. And I think that's just a healthy way to handle those kind of moments. You know what I mean? Communicate through them effectively. And trying to understand is obviously a sign of being, like, empathetic. You know what I mean? So you're showing that other person, like, yo, I really care about how you view things. You know what I mean? Because we live in the same world. So in order to ensure that I'm respecting, your perspective and how you look at things, I have to be willing to understand and be receptive.
Yeah, because it's dope too when like you are learning other people's perspectives with an open mind, because it gives you clarity sometimes. It gives you that alternate perspective of like, okay, I've always viewed it like this, but like it's really dope that you view it like that. Like I'm glad that you shared that with me, because now I can look at it maybe a little differently.
Yeah.
So I think, just like I said, keeping that open mind, it just broadens everything with that whole situation.
Yeah. You know, gaining it's never a bad thing to gain a new perspective, because I feel like you're almost gaining
It helps
knowledge.
growth.
You know what I mean? You're like
Yeah.
gaining a sense of knowledge in a sense, because you know, you're exploring what could potentially be unknown to you. And you know what I mean? Essentially, that's the learning process, you know what I mean? Between the unknown and now you know. So
Yep, the waves through life, man.
Yeah, man, I like that. That was cool. I feel like we fucking snapped, dude.
Like some Thanos.
Shit. Hell yeah, guys. Well, you guys already know, man. Make sure you guys are submitting your questions in the inbox, whether it's on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, wherever you guys got to get a hold of us. We're everywhere. So yeah, man, make sure you guys drop those questions. Man, I like that one. That was a really good question. It was super dope.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Before we get to the episode, a word from our sponsors. I'm not going to say introducing OuLa-Lade again, because you guys already know what it is. OuLa-Lade, 100% natural, hand-squeezed lemonade. We've got a new flavor, a premium flavor, which is the strawberry mango passion. And yeah, man, shout out to you guys for sponsoring our podcast. First and foremost, you guys are the most amazing drink sponsor and the only drink sponsor for In the Fields podcast. We're going to try this flavor right now, and I already know it's going to hit because
amazing.
You say that every time. You're a sniffer. So you got to sniff it before you sip it. You know what I'm saying? No, for real. That smells godly. I'm going to take
it.
I need some of the pulp. Hold on.
I feel like every new flavor is my new favorite flavor.
Oh my God.
It never misses.
I've never drank a lemonade that made me want to start an OnlyFans. I'm not going to lie, guys. This gets you going. This gets you aroused in ways beyond any other lemonade could.
It's just like an orgasm in your mouth. That's all.
For sure. It's literally an explosion of flavor. It's an explosion of flavor. And it's also natural. It's all natural ingredients made with love. Shout out to my guy, La Shells. We appreciate
you guys.
Shout out to OuLa-Lade. Make sure you guys get yours today. And now, back to the episode. And we are back, guys, to another episode of In the Fields podcast. Like we said, this episode, we're going to take a deep dive into the power of perspective and just like how important it is to have that kind of control. I think a lot of the time we get absorbed into all the bad shit that be happening. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you can get lost in that. And I think the power of perspective gives you that control, that ability to see beyond that shit, dude. Like a lot of
change it.
Yeah, bro. We look at shit. A lot of people look at shit as bad. And I get it, bro. But you can get consumed by that. Like bad shit happens to people every day, B.
Yeah.
But it's like for you to get lost in it.
I like the phrase, it could always be worse.
It really could be, bro. There's people dying like every fucking second across the world right now. Like the fact that you woke up, blessing. You're here, blessing. Sure, shit might not be going as smoothly as you want it. It's all right. You're going to get through it. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I just feel like...
And it's okay to change your perspectives too, because I was somebody who was always very negative, and like I couldn't just connect those dots in my brain of like, yeah, but it could be, you know, going right, or it could be worse. Like I need to be appreciative and grateful for what I do have and all that like nonsense. And once I was able to kind of connect those dots, and where I was like, oh, you know, like it isn't that bad. Like, it doesn't have to be like that. And now, like, going through life just seems so much lighter. But if I wouldn't have taken the time to really consider changing my perspectives and how I view things, like, I would have been stuck in that mindset for God only knows how long.
Yeah, man. And it's just, it comes with the journey, right? Like you look back, like who I was probably 5 or 10 years ago was praying to be in the position that I'm in today.
Yeah, literally.
You know what I'm saying? And I even, when we started dating, like it just, we prayed to be where we are today. And I think we've already surpassed our expectations or our
for
prayers.
sure.
You know what I mean? So it's just when you're able to look at life through that kind of lens, it just makes it much easier to appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to not let the negativity consume you. Because I'm not saying bad shit don't happen, bro. Like, some days are just extremely overwhelming. Some days you got to reset. Some days are just tough, bro. Everybody has tough times.
Yeah, but how you view it depends on how you're going to maneuver through it. Like, if you know it's bad, but you are able to try to hold on to even the smallest positive outlook on it, you're going to handle that situation so much easier.
Yeah, and it's crazy because it brings me to like to this thing I heard the other day. I shared it with you, but I'll share it with you guys. It was a video I saw where this guy said that he was talking to his therapist, and he's like, "Yo, like, how come like the highs are so high in life? Like when my highs are high, bro, they're up, but the lows are so fucking low, dude. Like, how can I just keep it in the middle? Like, how can I just keep it like this?" And the therapist told him, think of life very similar to like an EKG, like this, like on our sign.
Yeah.
The highs are high, the lows are low, but if it's straight across the middle,
You're
you know what that means?
flatlining.
If you're flatlining, you're dead, bro.
Yeah.
So it's like,
that's a dope way to put it.
That you don't really want it to flat, like, because it gives you that perspective of the yin and the yang. Like, you can't appreciate the sun without the rain. If it was sunny every fucking day, or if it was just not rainy but not sunny, just like overcast, if that was like that every day, bro, and your days were just kind of mid,
it would be miserable,
bro. Mid. You wouldn't even know what to do. Like, do I take a nap today? Do I go swimming? Like, what the fuck do I do in this weather? It's not sunny. I don't want to go to the beach, but like, I also, it's not raining, so I kind of want to go outside. Like, it's confusing, I think, to live life like that. Yeah. And yeah, when I heard that quote where it was like, yo, like, think of it like an EKG. You don't want it to flatline. You know what I mean? So yeah, bro, that was good. And I think that's huge, especially when it comes to the power of perspective. Like,
that's a really dope perspective to have when you look at it like that, though, because you can't have the good without the bad. Yeah. Because you can't appreciate it as much.
Well, yeah, because if you don't know what the downside is, how can you ever be like, embrace the upside,
excited,
you know what I mean?
For it, like you wouldn't ever have those emotions.
Yeah, man. And that's why the power of perspective has been super important. It's something I've been practicing too. Like, it's definitely a skill, guys. It's not something, like you said, like, it took a while for you to connect the dots, you know what I mean? Or to start being able to kind of flip the switch or start seeing the silver lining. A lot of us get consumed into, you
got to take the steps.
Yeah, and it's also just how we're raised too, you know what I mean? Like, when you have people who are, surrounding you with negative energy, or, the environments that you come from, even friends or family, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it's hard to separate yourself from that way of living.
Especially if you're so used to living that certain type of way and like viewing things a certain type of way for so long, it kind of gets like embedded in you. And it's like really hard to break free of that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And I think the most important thing too with the power of perspective is, making that shift is, I think it's essential to living the life that you foresee for yourself. Like, you can't gain access to this good life if you're always seeing everything as a negative. You know what I mean? I don't think that connects. You know what I mean? If you're somebody who's always negative or always looking for the worst,
you're gonna find it.
Yeah, you're gonna see exactly what the fuck you seek out. So it's like, if you're looking for shitty shit, you're gonna get shitty shit. Yeah. You play stupid games, you win stupid fucking prizes.
Yeah, because
it's really that simple.
Yeah, because just like manifesting, a dope life is so important, you will also manifest a negative one.
Exactly. And like
depending on how much you like put things down or speak badly about yourself.
Yep.
Like,
your brain is mad powerful.
Yeah, it's crazy how that works, but it's like true as shit. Like, you will find everything wrong if that's what you're only looking for. Yeah, and you're missing all of that goodness.
Yeah, bro, you just can't be appreciative of all the good shit happening to you if all you give a fuck about is the bad shit.
Yep.
Because then it's like, what the fuck is the point of you even having anything good happening to you? You don't give a fuck. Yeah. And that's the life you'll manifest. You'll overlook all the good things. Like, and it just creates...
Because the good things then become so small.
Yeah, they become nothing to you because they're not important. You're only worried about the bad shit. So when you are, it's like, where's the joy in that? Yeah. Where's the joy in that if you're just living a fearful life, or you're living a life of just resentment and pain and darkness? Like,
and sadly, like, those are the people that get stuck in, like, deep, severe depression. And, like...
Bro, that sucks.
It, like, consumes you to the point where, you know, no return at some point for some people. And it's, like, heartbreaking because I, too, was at that point at one point in my life. And if I didn't push through and I didn't try to figure it out and take those steps, like, who knows what would have ended up happening? You know what I mean? Like, it's not a fun place to be.
Yeah, dude, that fucking sucks. I feel for those people, though, because I feel like I've been there. I feel for those people. I've been there, dude. Yep. I've been in those moments where, I mean, dude, you fucking see me have those moments still till this day where I'm like, yo, everything is being thrown in my fucking way right now. Like,
yep, we've been currently dealing with that for a little bit now.
Dude, oh my God, I'm so worried about getting the next episode out right now, bro, on time. I know I'm gonna do it. I don't give a fuck if I have to do audio for now and then upload video later. Like, I'm still gonna get it out. Who gives a fuck?
But it's that learning process.
Yeah, bro, that's all right. It's gonna happen. Technology's only good when it works. What are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. We're gonna get through it. We still gonna keep giving you guys the dope content that we promised to provide you. And not just that, though, like, just giving you guys the content that you guys are enjoying. Like, bro, I just checked the stats, bro. 175K across all the platforms.
That's crazy.
Hell yeah, bro. That's insane to me. We were only 3 episodes in at the time, too.
That's crazy.
Like,
we love you guys.
Hell yeah. Shout out to the feelers that are shout out to all the feelers tuned in. Hashtag the feelers, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, that's going to be the fan club.
I love the feedback that we get, and, like, it's definitely turning out to be better than what I even, like, anticipated or expected.
Well, it also shifted our perspective.
Good callback.
Right, yeah. So, yeah, no, it really did, because I remember in the beginning how, you know, once again, like, anxious in a way we were about just seeing how it was going to hit, you know what I mean? And, like, watching the numbers steadily grow and just... It's
jumping in this, having no idea what we're doing. We're just going to do it.
But, I mean, dude.
We'll figure it out.
We've been so good at communicating, though, for so long. And what is a podcast besides...
communication.
Good communication, good, valuable content. Like, I feel like people can get something from this. You know what I mean? And I think that's... And we get something out of it, too. Like, it's a win-win for us, in my book.
I've noticed tons of growth in myself, even just within these last, you know,
few
nine or so episodes. Like, even, like, my cousin pointed it out. Like, you could definitely tell that, like, you're way more comfortable.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like, okay.
I mean, even Sin Limite. Shout out to my guys. Even they say they've been, like, really tuned in. Like, they'll watch an episode and they're like, all right, guys, so I just finished the episode. Here's all the feedback.
I know, I love it.
And then the next episode, they're like, yo, just finished this episode. And the growth for Lisa, my bro, I know you're good at what you do because you do the music. You're Billsy. You know what I'm saying? So we know you're going to do your shit. But Lisa, she's fucking killing it, bro. So, like, I love that, like, I love that even though it's just, like, my homies. Like, I love that they also, like, you know, that they also are very, like, open about the feedback with you too, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
like,
and I love that because I have always had super stage fright. I do not like being in the spotlight. Like, I don't know why you're freaking hot. I'm very introverted. Like,
I don't know why.
So this is, like, big for me.
Hell yeah, you're pretty. I don't understand why.
I don't know.
You look good on camera. We should start an OnlyFans.
No,
I was just kidding. That was a joke. I got morals.
Definitely
Plus,
not.
my wife says it's only for her to see, so I'm not allowed to make money off of it. Bummer for you guys.
You're stupid. I can't.
Nah, man, this has been dope. This has been such a good experience. Like I said, it's definitely benefited our perspective too on even just the entire podcast space, right? Like
the topics we talk about,
how we've, but also too, just like we dove right into it thinking like, oh shit, we got it all set up. We got the lights, we got the camera, the sign, like we're ready. And we're just still not there yet. You know what I mean? Like even that, those moments where it got hard is also broadening my perspective on even just this type of shit. You know what I mean? So
just being patient with yourself and giving yourself that grace of like you point out all the time, like some people don't even have it figured out until episode 100.
Yeah, bro. And also the negative shit.
Just starting.
The negative shit doesn't have to be a loss or only down, right? Like it's a learning moment. It's a teachable moment. You know what I mean? Like this is the shit right here. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like it's important to just understand that, you know, even within the bad there's good.
Always.
You know what I mean? You could turn a loss into a lesson, and that comes with having a better, you know, making that shift in your perspective, essentially.
Yeah, just opening it, broadening it. All that good stuff.
Hell yeah. I like that. And guys, it's a skill. It's something, once again, you have to practice this. You have to try to view life as such. It's essential, I think, to living a more fulfilling life or maybe a more purposeful life.
And there's steps to take. Like you could do something as simple as like waking up in the morning and choosing to look in the mirror, or even like on your drive to work or whatever, and just start listing 5 things that you're grateful for the second you're up and you're going for the morning. Start practicing that every morning. Start journaling. Start talking to yourself positively when you're looking at yourself. Try not to focus on your flaws and point things out. Point out things that you actually do like, oh, my hair is hairing today. Or, oh, my outfit is fly. Like, just simple things that, like, you'll start to notice the more you practice it and get into a routine and a habit of doing these things, your perspectives will just naturally shift without you even thinking too hard about it.
Yeah, man. You hit the nail right on the head with that. It's just pouring into yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Filling your own cup.
You have to fill your own cup so that you can pour into others.
Yeah, because it does help you be more open-minded when you are listening to other people's perspectives on things, because you aren't so closed-minded where you're quick to like shut it down and be like, yeah, no, because your opinion doesn't matter. Like that's their perspective. They have every right to their opinion, to all of that. Like you have no room to shut somebody else's stuff down. So,
and it's not even about shutting them down either. Like you're right. I don't think people have the room to shut them down. It's offering a safe space to offer them a different perspective. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like
share your thoughts.
Yeah, it's not telling you that you're wrong, but what if we did it like this? Like, and I always use the example like of if I draw the number 6 right here, to you it looks like a 9, and we could sit here and argue all fucking day. Where I'm like, dude, it's a 6, and you're like, dude, it's a fucking 9, and I'll be like, it's a fucking 6. I drew it. But we can sit here and do that all day. Or I could be like, hey, come here. Look. Stand over here. See it now? And you're like, oh, it does look like a fucking 6. I see what you're doing, dude.
Yeah, I love that.
And then I walk over there, and then you're like, oh, shit, it does look like a 9. I see what you're looking at. You know what I mean? It's really that simple.
It's hard, but it's possible.
But yeah, like that thought process to me is a very simple way of thinking how the difference in perspective, like it's important to communicate that, because people start a lot of shit over little shit like that. I drew the 6, you think it's a 9, and now what? We're beefing.
Yeah.
Like,
and we can't even talk through it because there's just too much animosity about the situation.
Yeah, it just doesn't click. You know what I mean?
Because a lot of people too, especially in arguments, people argue to win. They want to win their point. But that's not always, like, you're not there to win. You're there to solve.
Yeah.
How do we solve it?
It's not a battle. It's not about win or lose. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because what are you winning? What do you gain by, trying to prove your point?
Or force your perspective onto me.
Because that's the biggest part of arguments, is because the other person isn't seeing it the same way as you, and you're not willing to see it the way that that person is seeing it. So now you're clashing and going back and forth consistently, and you're not getting anywhere. You guys end up throwing in the towel at some point and be like, whatever, you win. You know what I mean? And then you keep going through life until you end up in that same situation, because now you're going to be arguing about the next thing, because you're not trying to understand one another. You're not trying to flow naturally. You're trying to get one up on the one. Never mind.
One up on the other person. Got you. Remix. My bad.
You knew what I meant.
Baby,
same thing.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, girl. I got you. No worries.
I glitched for a second.
That's all right. In the Matrix. All right,
you knew what I meant.
I knew what you meant, baby.
All right.
But yeah, man, I think that's super fucking dope, man. Like I said, I love doing this shit, and I think it just the power perspective is super important. It's something that can help you live a more fulfilling life, in my personal opinion.
Yeah,
it'll make life feel better for you, and I think also it just is a part of manifesting. You know what I mean? Like, can't expect to create a good life if all you're thinking about is shit.
Yeah, it all coincides with each other.
Oh yeah. Want to get into question time, and then we can bring them home?
Yeah. Cool. Let's do it.
Let's do it, man. You want to go first?
Sure.
Or I can go first. What do you want? Hit me with it.
All right. Ready?
Go.
How can we encourage more open and respectful dialogue when differing perspectives are present?
You've got to invite it. It's really that simple. If I don't extend, right? If I don't say, okay, well, why do you feel that way? Or wait, maybe you could put me on. Maybe I'm missing something.
Yeah.
You have to be open-minded, and you have to invite the conversation. A lot of people, once again, they think that just because we have different perspectives means, like, I don't got to fuck with you no more.
Yeah, I don't even want to hear you out.
Yeah, I don't want to, I'm stuck in my ways, which that's horrible. You don't want to be that person. You don't want to be stuck in your ways. You don't want to be somebody that isn't willing to be receptive and be open-minded. So, yeah, you have to invite it. You have to invite it. It's essentially, it's asking, yo, put me on.
Yeah, I like that.
Don't look at it as, well, that's fucking stupid. Nah, dude, you fucking, like, don't do that.
I could never.
Yeah, yo, it couldn't be me. And I'm not saying there aren't certain things, like I said, you know what I mean? Like,
you're not always going to agree, but that's okay.
You're not always going to fucking agree, but that's okay, dude. But also, yo, put me on. What's up? Why do you think like that? Like, what's up? What am I missing? Yeah. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, bro, like, those are teachable moments. That communication, you have to invite that. You have to be creating a safe space.
Yeah, because
be willing to have those conversations.
A lot of those thought processes are based off of, like, your upbringings, the crowd you keep around you, the relationships you put yourself in. A lot of that provokes how you think about things.
Facts.
So if you're not going to be open-minded, how do you expect to ever grow? You know, because you have to be willing, like you said, like, put me on.
Yeah, like, what's up?
Teach me differently. Show me differently.
Yeah, well, and even like you said earlier, like, the dots didn't always connect. And I know, like, I know that we would literally, like, have moments where you're like, yo, how the fuck do you do that? Like,
all the time.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I'm not getting that. Like, how did you just look at it like that? Yeah,
sense.
You're like, that shit don't make sense, bro. Like, how do you get over shit so fast? Or, And I'm like, bro, you just got to look at it like, you know what I mean? Like, and even still, I still have moments where I get stuck in a negative, you know what I mean? Because too many things are happening at once or whatever. But a lot of the time it's, yo, like, how can we freaking, you know, just push forward and, like, get through and change that perspective. So this way, you know what I mean? You can you don't have to hold on to shit. You know what I mean? You create resentment. You create a lot of negative shit for yourself. So yeah, I would say inviting that conversation. Like I said, not looking at it as, oh, now we're different.
Yeah.
But looking at it as, this could be a moment for us to put each other on. You know what I mean? Like, your perspective might help me in the future, later, when I get into a situation where your perspective might actually be more beneficial to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So a lot of the time, you know what I mean? It's just learning. You're just sharpening your own
way of thinking.
You're sharpening your awareness by understanding other people's perspectives. So I think that's important. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
social awareness is
it gives
huge.
you those options of, like, instead of always looking at it this way, I can try to view it as this, and then make it make sense for yourself.
Right.
But if you don't have that, you know, alternate perspective to even go to, you're just going to be stuck in your ways.
Yeah, and life changes. So if you get stuck in your ways, you get left in the past. You know what I'm saying? Because life evolves. You do have to, like parents today, or parents from back then, would struggle parenting today. They probably all be in jail, if I'm gonna be honest, because they be beating kids' asses. But like, they probably wouldn't be able to handle all the, the technology, the advancement. I mean, because we were simple kids. You go ride your bike, you come back.
Street lights come on.
Yeah, it was simpler times, you know what I mean? So I just don't think, you know what I mean? But that also comes with the shifting of perspective and, needing to invite that kind of conversation and create that safe space.
That's fair. I like that. That was a good answer.
Hell yeah, man. That was a pretty, I don't want to say drawn out, but I feel like it was a really deep question. Like that sparked like a really good moment. You know what I mean? There's gonna be some clips there. There's gonna be some clips there, dude, for sure.
Those are the questions I go for,
All right, cool. All right, I got you. Ready? So when you feel stuck or overwhelmed, how might consciously trying to adapt a different perspective, for example, like seeing it as a learning opportunity or focusing on what you can control, how can that change your approach?
Oh, it's significant because that's something that like I'm currently trying to navigate and figure out because, when you're healing, you can't just do it all at once. It's like bits and pieces as you go along. And I'm definitely somebody who gets overwhelmed way too easily because the way that my brain works is that I think of everything that needs to get done all within like a 10-second time frame. Like, it just
rapidly fills your brain
my
up.
brain.
It's
and
like
it's like
SpongeBob where he's like, what's his name? Where did we throw out the name?
That's exactly what happens in my brain, bro.
I'm going to have to put that like here.
That's exactly the best way to explain what happens in my brain. But it's like the more that I'm taking on too, like I've been saying, like I feel like I've been the most adult now than I've ever been in, the last 10 whatever years. So like I've been trying to shift the way that I'm like maneuvering and being like, okay, well, let me just start making more lists. Let me break it down into priorities. Let me see, what needs to be handled where, when, whatever. And like, you gave me the perspective of like, yo, when you're at work, turn all that other shit off. Just focus on the work that you have.
Dude, I literally go to work and I make a list.
Within those 8 hours.
A list of shit I need to get done just at work. And then that's it. My brain shuts off. All I know is breathing and fine dining. Literally, like when I get to work, bro, that other shit is done, dude.
Yeah, so like that's something I've been practicing, like when I'm at work to kind of just shut all that outside noise off. Like there's nothing I can do about what needs to get done at home or like outside of here because I'm stuck here for the next 8 hours.
Yeah, and then
so what's the sense of stressing myself out when I have to wait till I get out anyway before I could do anything?
And then I know at your job, you're the employee who like, they be asking you to do shit. So it's like you already have work shit on your plate. Yeah. So I'm like, bro, you can't worry about the home shit. We'll worry about the home shit when we get home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The floor might be dirty. The dishes might not be done. I know you've been taking 2 or 3 days to fold laundry. I get it, dude. It's cool. We own this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Your mom's not going to yell at you. You're not going to get grounded. It's fine.
I know. It's just my OCD.
You're like, fucking trauma response, bro. If I don't get it done, if I don't fucking wash the dish, dude, I'm fucked. You know what I mean? Like,
no, it's that definitely stems from my OCD, but it's just like learning.
I know your mom was the same way, dude. You couldn't leave a fucking spoon in the sink.
Yeah, no, that was my ass, like instantly.
And she'd be like, what the fuck is this?
Oh my God.
Did you leave this dish in here, kiddo? You better clean it.
But yeah, so like one of my biggest issues was always not being in control. That's one thing that has always stressed me out. Like if I can't control a situation, like I'm losing it because I'm like, I need to be able to just
Yeah, and when it's not within your control, it's like being in a fucking car with nobody driving.
So I've been trying to hold that perspective of like, it's impossible to always be in control and just keep that in the back of my mind. So when I find myself in situations where I feel like I need to have that control, I am able to step back and be like, that has nothing to do with me. Like that's out of my scope. I don't get paid enough for that. Yeah. So I try to keep that mindset going. But like I said, I'm just the busiest that I've ever been. Like trying to maneuver and manage so many things at once that like now I have to be more efficient on keeping a planner and a daily schedule and a to-do list. And like these are all things that I did, but not to this extent. So just trying to shift that perspective of being more responsible and being more on task and like just focusing on what I can control has been a game changer for me.
It's good, man. I like that answer.
Yeah.
It's good. And it definitely reflects like as from my perspective, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can see it. I can see you navigating life on a much less stressful level. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was the other day on Wednesday at work, I was in like the chipperest mood. Like I was just
chipperest.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's my word. Leave it alone.
Okay. We're gonna add that to the list of weird shit my girl says.
Leave me alone.
Which I will share with you guys one of these days.
No, we will
She's not gonna know when.
No, we will
I'm
not.
just gonna break it out. I'm gonna add chipper, the chipperest to.
Chipper is a word.
Oh no, you feeling chipper?
Yes.
Yeah, I get it. Righto.
I'm
fucking right there with you. About that time, eh, chaps?
But yeah,
You know
I was just in the most chipper mood ever, and I was just floating through work like nothing could bother me. And I even like when I got out of work, I was like, I don't know what it is today, but I have so much energy. I'm not tired. I'm just feeling great.
Good.
Like, and that's not something that I've ever really experienced much of. But the more and more that I continue down this path, like I keep having more of those days.
That's fire.
So.
It's fire as fuck, dude. Hell yeah, man. You got another one for me?
Yep.
Hit me with it.
All right. If you could give one piece of advice on how to better appreciate the power of perspective, what would it be?
Can you hit me with it one more time?
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure I answer this correctly. Or
A
at least
memento.
to the best of my ability.
All right. Ready?
Yep.
If you could give one piece of advice of how to better appreciate the power of perspectives, what would it be?
It would be that, or the advice that I would give is, it's just kind of like what I said earlier, that you can't really appreciate the good without the bad. So, like, if you're not good, or if you don't have the ability to really shift your perspective, I think there's a lot of joy that you're missing out on. And, like, but also, like, with the power of perspective also comes with, you know, there's a chance that you can see the bad shit is really bad too. You know what I mean? Like I think when you're very narrow-minded or like tunnel vision, like you're kind of like in the middle. Like, and we said that like that's like flatlining. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I said, you're missing out on a lot of shit that might be up here. Granted, you also might be missing out on a lot of shit that's down here because you're very just meh about it. But
then you stay kind of
But
meh.
then you're exactly. Shit just gloomy, dog. Like how do you get to enjoy the highs of life if you're not willing to also experience
ride that ride?
Ride the ride, dude. You know what I mean? So the advice I would give is, you know, having the ability to broaden your perspective invites a lot more shit in, but a lot of it can be good shit, bro.
Yeah.
And I think the majority of it is good shit. If I'm really being honest, when you shift your perspective and you're not just a fucking negative Nancy, yo, life's good. Mm-hmm. Realistically, a lot of us are living the best lives that have ever existed on this fucking planet, bro. There's people who used to fucking walk on dirt roads without shoes and shit, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and people who have fucking first world problems. Like, oh my God, the Wi-Fi went out.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I grew up where phones were connected to walls and shit,
yeah,
dude.
Kids are like rich now, just posting videos on YouTube.
Yeah. TikTokers, dude, what the fuck, bro? I remember being a kid and my mom being like, playing video games is gonna rot your mind. Now kids, they are fucking making 6-7 figures playing video games. Like, so
it's crazy.
Once again, I just think having the ability to alter your perspective or really broaden it, and like it's a huge benefit. I think you miss out on so much if you don't. So, you know, just like, you know, you want to see the world. You know what I mean? You want to really see it. You don't want to just see what your world is. Like, you want to see the world. Invite it in. Invite all this shit in. You get to, once again, the lows allow you to appreciate the highs. So it's like it's okay to see the lows. Those don't have to be bad moments. Like, you don't need to avoid that shit.
Yeah.
By any means. Like, it's okay to go through that. Look for the, you know what I mean? It's, you're on the down. It comes up, man. That's life.
Yeah.
So
that's big for me, like the whole traveling thing, because I was somebody always scared to travel and like not, like it was cool to look at like on pictures and stuff, but I was just like, I don't.
And then a lot of
I'm
the
not
time
ever
we just
getting
get
on
stuck.
a plane. I'm never getting on a boat.
Yeah, and then what? We living in Lehigh Valley doing nothing. The fuck is that, bro?
But you opened up that door of like, no, let's go see what's out there. And now like traveling is one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah, this shit is dope, bro. And then you get to, like you said, you get to experience newer shit. Like,
and
bro, for a while,
I
thought La Plaza was gonna be your favorite Mexican food. When we went to Texas,
it's
your favorite here. But we went to Texas.
Oh yeah.
Even the street tacos that we were having at 2:00 in the morning.
So good.
Blew that out of the fucking water. No offense to you guys. We still love your food. And I'm still going to eat there. And she loves your ceviche. Still haven't found any better ceviche than what y'all got.
Never.
Yeah, their ceviche is top tier. So, yeah, man, I just think the power perspective, it allows you to just, it allows you to see more of the world instead of just you seeing your world. Like, if you're only willing to see what's only right in front of you and not allow you to broaden your perspective or invite the other people's perspectives in, like, you don't get any cultural diversity. You don't get any life experience diversity. Like, you don't get any of that. Like you said, like, you're like, yo, now I fucking love traveling, bro. Like, yes.
And it's dope to see how other people live and like what their experiences are and all of that.
And even that shit, like going to like, you know, like even when we went to like the like DR to the, you know, to like Turks, like you see like people like working out of shacks and shit. A lot of these people aren't dripped up in crazy nice clothes. So it's like,
because even at Turks, what was crazy to me is that tropical storm that hit and these motherfuckers were still out on boats cooking on the griddles. And I'm like,
to them, that shit
what is happening?
But to us, right, that would be like a low. We're like,
we're all under the freaking umbrellas trying to like hide ourselves.
Like, again, that allows you to step into like a more appreciative perspective because you see that shit in other worlds or in other countries and shit like that. And you come home and you're like, bro, I come home, I can adjust the temperature in my house, you know, like just shit that other people don't have, bro. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, practicing that gratitude, man.
I just think having a broader perspective and just having that ability to shift your perspective, it just you gain more. You gain more out of it. Yes, you see the lows for them being as low as they can be. But the highs, bro, you get to enjoy.
The lows don't last. They will go up.
And they're not bad. Like I said, it's just, it doesn't have to be a negative thing. Just because the lows happen in life, you have to roll with the punches. You have to get through it. It's something that is going to lead. You know, they always say like, you know, when you're walking down the right path, that's when the devil show up. That's when he's trying to fuck you up. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, that's just, and that's what I've been trying to do with this whole editing shit is just think that way. It's just be like, yo, you know what? That's what happens when you're walking the path, when you're walking with purpose and you're walking the path that you need to be walking, a lot of noise and a lot of shit is going to try to knock you off. So it's like, you have to be able to get through that in order to really get to the other side, you know? Like the other side of a shitty perspective is a fucking great life. Because that's the exact opposite. The other side of a shitty perspective is a good perspective, bro. You want to get to that other side. Get through the bad shit. You know what I mean? So
I like that.
Oh, yeah. That was a good one, man.
Yeah.
I like these questions, dude. They're very, maybe I'm just fucking talkative as fuck today, or they're just really good questions. All right, I got one. And it just kind of coincides with how I finished your last question, which is, how does focusing on gratitude shift your perspective on your daily life or current circumstances?
Well, that's like one of the big things that, you know, like the steps that you have to take in part of your healing journey is like, one of the things that I started with was practicing gratitude. Like, you know, we would text each other each morning 5 things we were grateful for. Yeah. Even if it was something very small or something very big, like whatever it was each day, we both were, this is what I'm grateful for.
I'm grateful for waking up. Yep.
I'm grateful for our house, the fact that we have cars. I'm grateful that we have money in the bank. We're living a good life. Because, yeah, shitty shit happens. But, like, the bigger picture of things is, like, but I have all of this. Like, I'm really going to let this one little thing destroy the fact that I have all of this greatness around me. Like, no. Like, that eventually is going to fade and it'll go away. And I'll be right back over here anyway. So, like, you know, practicing gratitude is a huge, huge part of my healing journey. Because that's not something I was ever good at doing. Because I couldn't ever focus on the good because I was always so focused on all the bad to the point where bad stuff just kept happening. And it's like that, like you said, like the power of perspective of just focusing on that negative. It's like you can't get out of there. That's the life you're manifesting for yourself. Because now you're not even worried or concerned about what could be going right or what goodness could be happening. You're just, nope, life sucks. Life is this, life is that. This is always happening to me. Like, you know, so I feel like, you know, when you open your mind and you are more receptive of just wanting to grow and change and practicing these things, you'll see a different outlook. And then you will be open to more perspectives and you will like understand more from other people's perspectives as well. You would be more understanding. So I think that's huge. Gratitude is huge.
Oh yeah, man. I like that. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I likes me some gratitude.
Yeah, I just, being grateful just makes life easier to navigate, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, you could be worried about shitty shit, or you could just be grateful for what you do have, and you'll navigate the shitty shit, especially if you have a good village around you. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, that's huge, too. Having a good support system.
Cool, man. What you got for me? Last one?
That was your last one, right?
No, I have...
You have one more? Okay.
This is your last one, yep.
All right. Why can it be so difficult to step outside of your own ingrained ways of thinking and feeling?
I think people have a hard time accepting that the way they think isn't the best way to think. Because you think you know everything because your parents taught you, right? So when people start to teach you, when people try to offer you a different perspective, it's like, you ever seen the movie The Water Boy?
Yes.
Where he's like, well, my mama said, you know what I mean? Like, well, my mama told me, you know what I mean? Like,
I love that movie.
Yeah, so when they're talking about the alligators, and he's like, well, the medulla oblongata, well, my mama told me that the alligator with the toothbrush, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's how people fucking live sometimes, where they're like, well, no, that's not true because my mama told me. You know what I mean? Like, some people are really so fucking stuck in their way.
And then that girl came in and she's like, nah, dog.
Yeah, and then she changed his whole life. She showed him her boobies, and he was like, oh, wow, that's a crazy life. And I got H2O. You know what I mean? Like, that's fucking reality, bro. Like, when you are so closed off from the world and you're not offered many perspectives, you go based off of
what you know.
You're like a product of your environment. You know what I'm saying? A plant can only grow as well as the environment it's planted in.
Yep.
So it's not until you uplift your roots and put yourself in a more fruitful environment that you start to flourish and that you start to see shit for really what it is. You know what I mean?
Dude, I love your analogies.
Bro, I be fucking snapping. And I'm made of rubber. Yo, for real though, like, that's just what it is, bro. Like, the power perspective is tough. And when you're stuck in your own ways and you're not really like...
It requires growth.
Yeah, and the only way to grow sometimes is you gotta fucking uproot your shit.
Be
and
uncomfortable.
You gotta replant somewhere else, bro. You have to give yourself... If I keep you in this small-ass little flower pot, you're only gonna get so fucking big. Yeah. Until I repot and that's what you have to do with your life. You have to... That's why
sunlight,
water.
That's
why some people make dramatic changes. Like, I know so many people that just like left here and they live in a completely other fucking state and they making it fucking work. And they, like Alex, for example, he was from here. He was from Allentown.
Oh yeah.
Cruise, yeah. Shout out Cruise Control. You already know who we powered by, my guy. So yeah, like uprooted, planted, flourishing.
Literally.
It's fucking. It works. That's just what it is. So yeah, man.
You just have to be willing to.
Yeah, you have to be willing to.
Change is scary.
Well,
and it's uncomfortable, but it's necessary.
But it's like even to change, there's times where you have to break to rebuild.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like gold, as beautiful as gold is, you have to destroy it before you turn it into something that is beautiful again. Like, you have to melt it down, you have to destroy it and take it out of its shape and reshape it and remold it to become what you want it to become. And that's applies very significantly to ourselves too. We need to treat ourselves like we're trying to rebuild and make ourselves better and refortify ourselves. And the only way to do that shit is sometimes you have to re-break, rebuild, uproot, whatever the fuck it is. It's all the same concept.
Yeah.
You gotta kind of do everything you can to rebuild and grow. So yeah, man, that's what I would say for sure.
I like that.
Oh yeah.
You and your analogies.
Thanks,
gets
man.
me every time.
Yeah, I be trying, dude. It's the only way I know how to make sense of shit. And I also use analogies because I try to make it make sense for other people. I also think
I love that about you, though, because that has helped me in opening my perspectives to seeing things how you do. Because, like I said, make it make sense for me because I can't.
And I think a lot of people need that. Like, and especially me, like, I work mad hard on my communication and shit. Like, even my mom said to me the other day, she's like, I love how easy it is for you to just talk. Yeah. Like, you are good at it. And I'm like, yo, I feel you. And like, that opened my eyes to seeing like, yo, some people can't handle this. Like, you do have to make it palpable for people, which is like part of the reason I even wanted to do this shit with you. Because a lot of this therapy shit for people, some people are just too hard-headed to really get it. Yeah. They don't understand this shit. A lot of this shit they avoid. You know what I mean? They like, especially
It's
guys, a lot of guys, bro, the
conversations.
second you start getting into this type of shit, they're like, that's whack. Anyway, you want to go get a drink, dude? You know what I mean? Like, they avoid this shit. You know what I mean? So it's like, you have to make it make sense, like you said. So, yeah, man, that's why we do it. All right, I got one more for you. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this one's going to be a lighthearted question.
Okay.
It's about your perspective. All right, so is a rainy day automatically gloomy? Or is it a perfect excuse for cozy socks, hot chocolate, and a movie marathon?
Definitely the second one.
Okay.
I love rainy days.
Yeah. Okay, see, with
with
some
a little
people
thunder, with a little thunder
and
and
the
lightning.
rain just dripping down.
It's so
the window.
peaceful. It's so peaceful.
And you hear it, you just
take a nice little nap with the window cracked so you could just hear it.
get that fresh rain smell.
Oh, I love that smell.
Yeah. See, some people don't fucking like it. But that's the power of perspective. Like,
I will say, though, when it's like continuous days of it, then I'm like...
Or if it's like summertime on the weekend.
You're dragging it now.
Yeah, if it's summertime on the weekend, we about to pop out type shit.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, don't fucking rain, dude.
Now you're going to mess my hair up.
Yeah, I was just about to say, now I got to hear her complain about her hair. Come on. I don't need Mother Nature's cycle and my wife's cycle to sync. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I need y'all to be
just like a random...
off schedules.
A random rainy day, I love them. But it's when they're drawn out and it's like multiple days in a row and I'm like, can you just let up? Like, I want to go outside now.
Yeah.
Like, it was fun for a day or two, but like now it's been too much.
Thanks for washing the pollen off of my car, but stop.
It's too much now.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, I love me a good rainy day though.
Hell yeah, man. That's dope. All right, well, let's bring them home, man.
Whoop.
You guys already know what we be doing when we get to the end of our episodes. We leave you guys with a question. If you guys see these clips on YouTube or any platforms, make sure you guys drop your answers in the comments below. And
subscribe and share.
Our sending you home question is, what are some ways that you've learned to see things from a different point of view? Share your experiences with us in the comments below, because you never know when the why in your story is silent and it becomes our story, man. And yeah, until next episode, guys, keep feeling,
keep sharing,
and keep it real
within the feels,
baby. Hell yeah, dude.